What's up, guys? Got another video for you guys here today. I'm standing up in front of the new CD shelf, which is this monstrosity behind me. It's 8 feet wide and 8 feet tall, so it's absolutely ridiculous. And I am just gonna hop in on this because I have to go to work in a little bit. So I have 5 records for you guys. It's thrash metal, heavy metal, doom metal, things like that. And then I have one tape that I want to mention and talk about because it's a bit weird. It's a pretty obscure one. So yeah, if this is a cool angle, let me know. Otherwise, I might switch it up again. I might sit on the floor again like I used to in my old videos. I don't really know, but let's cut on into it. So the first thing I have to show you guys here is this tape. I blind bought this, and I spent like 10 bucks on it. And I don't know what got into me about it, but it is a band called Salem, and it's a single called Hard to Be Holy. So I wasn't sure at all what to make of this. When I first looked it up, I thought it was some random, traditional metal band from 1987. Then I look on the Metal Archives and search all the bands called Salem, and I couldn't find it at all. I thought, I was like, oh, this is a single from a band that released a record in 1988. That might be the case. I think they might be from Michigan. There's nothing helpful at all. It's out on Which Way Productions, as in W-I-T-C-H Way Productions. And so, in here, I believe this is somebody from the band, might have signed it. It says, Kelly, great to see you again. Yeah, I have no idea. I looked up some of these people, but they don't have the most original names in the world. And this is 2 songs on here. This is Savage Retreat and Hard to Be Holy. And it's like speedy, somewhat thrashy, traditional metal. I would put this in your camp as maybe like the first Sanctuary album or something similar to that, if you get where I'm coming from. It's just really, really good old school style heavy metal, and I really can't tell you any good information about it other than that. It's riffy. The vocals are really shrieky, not in like a kind of way, but like a high pitched heavy metal scream. I kind of feel weird standing and talking about this stuff, so sorry. I'm part Italian, so I'll be reaching around all crazy. But yeah, so this is a really interesting tape. If any of you guys have any information on this, feel free to drop it in the comments and let me know, because I would love to, know about what I have in my collection. So Salem, Hard to Be Holy cassette single. All right, so I forgot to put these in an order, so I'm just gonna start grabbing them. So the first one I got here is Atrophy with Socialized Hate. This is amazing. This is a record I picked up at my local shop. Very, very, very excited to own on wax. Looks very nice. Great band photo. Sick Dark Angel t-shirt. So this is the first album from Atrophy. Excuse me. This is a 2022 reissue. Got the inner there, pretty interesting image. I feel like that would have been a really cool image to have on like a white t-shirt or something like that. Maybe this is like the original idea for the cover. But this is, your 1980s thrash metal to a T. This is from 1988, I believe. Long before I was even breathing air. And it's a great 80s thrash record, and it's done in a very American way, but it has some of the kind of European attack that you're looking for in a lot of ways. It's a good record. It's all around a whole lot of fun. I mean, look at these guys, man. You're gonna tell me this isn't gonna be a good record based off that alone. So this is a repress on Massacre Records from 2022, like I said. Let me show you the wax. So that printed inner, and then this is just a white sleeve that was put in at the record store, and it's just on black wax. Nothing too particularly crazy. I really like the simplicity of the label, like an off-white kind of cream color label with the logo. I think is a really sharp look. But it's a great reissue. This record's really, really, really good. And I would highly recommend you get it if you guys have not heard this Atrophy album. At least pick up the CD or something like that. Oh, by the way, we're listening to Meet Thy Maker by October 31 in the background. One of King Fowley's bands. I really like everything King Folly really does. The guy just knows metal, you know what I mean? The guy's just, he's genuine, he's real. It's good stuff. So Atrophy. Next, let's get on some new wave of British heavy metal with the debut album from Cloven Hoof. I am a newcomer to Cloven Hoof. I've always kind of thought they were going to be like hokey and weird, like Broke His Helm or something like that, until I really gave it a listen and I saw this at my local shop for 20 bucks in the used bin. I was like, oh, whatever, it's coming home. But Cornball album cover, which I would want nothing else from a new wave of British heavy metal band. Love this back. Absolutely great looking back. So this is a Wax Maniacs repress done in the album is from 1983. There's no date on this exact repress, but that's not particularly important. Let's take a look at the, first off, killer shot of the band. Here's all your lyrics, a little bit of bio action, a lot of cool stuff on this repress, a lot of interesting things to read about. You know, this whole new wave of British heavy metal thing I found to be incredibly interesting the more I listen to it, and the more I look into, you know, the history of what was going on in England at this point, or just the UK in general, I guess, if you want to extend the invitation of new wave of British heavy metal. So white sleeve, Wax Maniacs label, a little bit of Cloven Hoof action. This is a great record. If you haven't heard this is definitely on the heavier side of the new wave of British heavy metal. You know, it's not like Mantis, where it's like basically Blue Oyster Cult with a little bit more heavy guitar tone. This is a lot more of your stuff that would really influence heavier metal, you know, your thrashes and your power metal and things like that. Melodically, it's incredibly interesting. This band has an amazing way of, you know, kind of introducing your Thin Lizzy harmonies, the dual guitar thing, you know, Iron Maiden sound, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, come on now, we're not new here. Although you'd think I'm new here, watching me re-sleeve, which I know is a #1 no-no, but I couldn't care less. I'm not doing it. I got stuff to do. But yeah, Cloven Hoof. Next, let's hit the thrash camp again. This is a classic, Power and Pain by Whiplash. I just went and saw this band, and I should have brought this LP with me to get signed. I just didn't. I don't know why, but it was great. Seeing this band live was amazing. I will do a whole video on Metal Threat Fest here pretty soon. But this is the debut album from Whiplash from 1986. First one, best one, as far as I'm concerned. I do have all three of them. Tony Porcherio was the only original member playing when I saw them, though neither of these guys are still involved with this band. This LP repress looks amazing. I've always loved this album cover. It's that awesome bad, you know, that you guys, we like the awesome bad in heavy metal, especially when it comes to 80s metal. Get out of here if you don't. Here is a good photo of the band with a spray painted Anarchy sigil on the wall, which is, very 80s. You open the record up with Stage Dive. This whole record is dynamite. Stage Dive, then Red Bomb, Last Man Alive, Message in Blood, Warmonger. Spit on Your Grave is probably the best song on here. Man, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Heavy, speedy thrash record. The vocals are really, really feral. Tony has a really great voice. That's something that really drew me in. And I love the speed metal riffs. But silver vinyl, somewhat reflective, which is very cool. Got the old school Roadrunner look, which I don't know what label this album originally came out on. There's part of me that wants to say it was a Metal Blade band, but I really have no clue. This might have been Roadrunner back in the day. I really don't know, dude. I wasn't alive. This is way before my time, and I am a young dude trying to get into the old school. So give me a break, man. I don't really know. But it's an amazing record. I absolutely adore this band. I adore this album in particular, though the first two are brilliant. The first three are really good, but the first two are brilliant. This is the best. Not an argument to be had. Whiplash. Next, little Doom action. classic doom, Mournful Cries by St. Vitus. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. This one was coming home with me no matter what happened. I actually bought way too many of these all at once. So this is their album from 1988. I want to say it's their it's their fourth album, excuse me, and it's great. This band rules. It's so much fun. First off, get a load of that album cover. Just enjoy that for a minute. Bask in the brilliance, the brilliant heavy metal of that front cover. Little small insert inside. Really, really cool. I'm a sucker for dragons. You guys know that. You guys know that. Musically, this is old school doom metal. I mean, 1988, doom metal was a thing. There were a handful of bands doing it. These guys were 4 records deep, though. That's impressive. But, you know, this album in particular, I picked up tons and tons of 80s Pentagram. You know, like Be Forewarned came out the year before, I believe, or no, Relentless came out the year before. And then when did Be Forewarned come out? I don't know. The information on the back of this is useless. I don't remember. But it's amazing. It's really, really, really good classic style doom metal. Traditional as it gets. And it's just loads and loads of fun, man. Black vinyl. Nice, classic looking repress. Nothing to screw up, really, you know? Good old school stuff. Great band photo. And yeah, tradition as it should be. Last one here. This is like... This is a crossover record from '89. This is called Lost for Words with the album Pray. I kind of remember Crown Zero Salem, Pat, talking about this album. I don't particularly remember, but this is the one and only vinyl press it's ever gotten, which is the original press from 1989. So once I found out that this is the 1989 Death Records pressing, I had to grab it. I don't know if it's supposed to come with a printed inner, but it did not. So I assume that it is something that did not come with it. The printed inner that doesn't exist is actually just a little clear plastic sleeve, black wax, really, really thin vinyl, nothing too impressive. But you know, this is definitely your 1980s angsty teenager music. This is your, you know, I've been, you know, really mad that my middle class family has been so well off and I need to find problems with my life. The fact that, you know, I could just go to high school and be a normal person and eat pizza and smoke cigarettes in the woods, you know, try to bum garbage weed off of the jocks on the football team, whatever, and complain about stuff. That's what this sounds like to me, and I kind of think that's a lot of fun, you know. It transports me to a time that I never even got to see, as far as I'm concerned. But you know, it's a good crossover record. It's fun. They have little bits of like surf touches. You know, they have goofy like little punk interludes. You know, they do skits in the middle of a record like random punk bands in the 1980s would do. It's just, you know, it's your run-of-the-mill 1989 crossover thrash record. It's good stuff. It's fun. But it's nothing particularly special. If you see it, go get it, grab it. If it's cheap, I got the first press for $20. I mean, that's hard to argue with. But yeah, check this out if you guys have not. So that is all 5 of the records I cared to show you guys for today. Next week I plan on doing the Metal Threat video, and the week after that is the vinyl video. One more vinyl update, and then we're starting the collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys know this Salem tape, give me some information. Close next to Turbo 31, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Keep it greasy.